Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about trading large spreads. Stay tuned. What's up guys, it's Migs with Market Open. Today I am up I think like 65 bucks or something like that. Not a whole lot on the watch list this morning, so we kind of had to improvise on some new movers. They all had earnings, or not earnings, but some sort of catalyst to back up the move. But also this morning I was trading Amazon, something I typically don't trade as much because it's such a it's like a lot higher price stock. So me trying to set my risk is relatively difficult unless like it's moving within like a $4 or $5 range or so. I know it's quick math, but whenever it's moving up and down within $1 or so, I like to keep my my risk within $100 or $200 or so. So I had a decent setup this morning, but actually my first trade this morning was on CTSH. So let's go over that first. CTSH here on the 1 minute chart. I took CTSH right at 939, so right here within this candle. It didn't really quite reach my target. I believe it was very close. I did notice that it was on an uptrend. Somebody called it out in the room, but this looked like a decent breakdown. I actually ended up taking it a little late. I wanted to take it somewhere basically somewhere around here at 78.36, but you can see that this candle is so large that actually ended up getting filled at 78.24, which is down here. A little bit lower than I wanted. Couldn't really do much about that one. Since it was such a split second type move, I just used a market order. Since I'm using CFDs, I do have better liquidity, and but unfortunately I still got filled a little lower, so 78.24, and my stop was actually going to be up here at 78.60. So we were looking for just a one-to-one risk to reward. Unfortunately, I did not reach that, and as you can see, it hit this trend line here and just started trending back up basically. So I actually ended up getting kicked out on the top of this candle here. So right at 942, which is right here, I got kicked out at 78.72. So I ended up spending a little bit more than I initially wanted to. Looking back on it, this was a shakeout candle a little bit because it was a quick upside move, but it actually ended up coming back. So if I would have held it, which is kind of against really against my rules, because it wasn't really that big of a candle. It did move relatively quickly, but it wasn't really that big of a candle for me to just be like, okay, that's a shakeout, I'm holding it. That's that. But it just a quick upside move, not a relatively large candle. It did have a little bit of volume behind it, but it actually did end up coming back down, and it actually reached my target. So as you can see, if I would have held it, I would have gotten my money out of that one. But that's kind of really against my rules, because I typically don't like to hold them unless it's a large upside candle, and relative size to this compared to this, they're kind of close. It's just this was kind of moving back and forth, and this was actually, it just ripped up. It just ripped up really quickly. Not that big of a loss as it could have been. It could have been a lot larger if this candle would have kept on going, because I had a hard stop. I was looking at I was trying to find a spot into Amazon, and I actually ended up missing my entry on Amazon, but we'll talk about that here in a second. So this ended up not working out. Lost more than I wanted to at CTSH 145. Here, next trade was Amazon. So this is what I mean by large spreads. So Amazon right now, actually I haven't pulled up on the level 2. So Amazon right now, it's got a 50-cent spread. So, and it was kind of varying between 40, 60, 80 cents sometimes. And Amazon this morning, I wanted to get it in over, I believe it was 15.92. So take you guys back to that spot right in here. So here, kind of wanted to go sideways. I was thinking about taking it over the highs here, but it pulled back. But as it pulled back, it got bought right back up. And so still my entry stood here at 15.92. So now I didn't want to set out a market order because I know Amazon can rip. So I went to go back and set a stop limit order. I was going to give it 30 cents or so because I was only buying 30 shares. My stop was all the way down here at 1588, getting in at 1592, and risking a little bit more than $100. So not really by much, but if you guys see this very next candle here, ripped from 1592 as I was setting my limit order out. It was a stop limit order, and I was setting it up at 15. It was 1592 to like 1592.40 or so, just to let me in. But as I was setting it up, I saw the time and sale just starting to fly, and it just ripped up from 92 to 95. I was like, okay, if it comes back to around 93-ish, I'll get in. Just smaller size, but it actually ended up not doing that, and it just kept on going and it never looked back. So unfortunately, I missed out on Amazon this morning. I could have gotten 3 to 1, 4 to 1 on this thing, and it never looked back. I knew that there was somebody upgraded Amazon to $1,900 a share or so, so it was moving and a little bit different than the market because it had its own catalyst to follow. So it should be moving up now that the market is actually moving slightly sideways. This should give Amazon a better leg to actually start moving forward, because most of the times I've noticed that if the market goes down and stock is getting upgraded, has positive earnings, that'll kind of cancel each other out, and the stock will actually start going sideways. And most likely you'll end up getting chopped up inside of it, trying to trade within that range, which is very, very hard to do. So unfortunately, with Amazon having such a large spread, I didn't want to chase it. I knew that it's just not a smart idea, especially when it goes up from 1592 to almost 1596 within one candle. So I could have had my partial almost like that, but unfortunately I was not able to. So I completely missed out on that. I did take the trade on Amazon later. Took another trade on Amazon. I'll walk you guys through that. Let's see here. I took the pullback on Amazon. So I got in here right at 951. So right here. Which candle was it? Was it down here? Yep, right here. Down near VWAP. And set my stop right here at the bottom at 1597.33. I bought 30 shares. Bought it right here at this candle. Now, this really made me mad. So this is basically lesson number 2 from Amazon. I bought 30 shares. I needed to get to my 1-to-1 was it was 1604.50, because what was it? I got filled here. You'll see, guys, at 116.04, and then I was risking down here. So for me to be able to get my 1-to-1, I just needed it at 1604.50, right within that range, or even 40. But if you guys will notice here, 1604.50 is the high of this candle. I was waiting for the bid to get up to 1604.50. It flashed up really quickly, and I never actually got filled. So I never saw the bid at 1604.50, therefore I never sold my shares of Amazon. Now if you'll notice, it actually started trending lower, and I got out break even. So I lost $3 on the trade. So because of the large spread, the bid never got to the price that I needed it to. I was over $100 in profit because I was risking a little bit more than $100, but the bid actually never really hit my price. So I never hit the sell button. Very unfortunate. I was this close to getting my partial out of it, but it just decided to go the other way, and I had to get out break even basically. So that's another very unfortunate thing, and lesson number 2 today from Amazon. So trading large spreads can be a pain, but it can also be rewarding. Now, when you're trading large spreads, I always hear people in the room say, "Hey, I don't have as much capital as you do to be able to trade." But the thing is that if you're trading small caps and you have a decent amount of capital, you can just buy less shares of Amazon. Like, I was only trading 30 shares. I mean, that's still a considerable amount of money, but you can trade 5 shares, 10 shares if Amazon has such a wide range. So from 1588 all the way up to 1606 right now, and it's probably going to break out over the highs at some point today. But you have such a large range for you to be able to trade in and out of within those 5, 10, 20 shares, and especially if you have an account with leverage as well. So you have more than enough capital to be able to trade a couple of shares of Amazon within the range that it's trading for the day. Or if it's trending up, then just go ahead and hop in on a pullback. So you don't need a lot of capital to be able to get into. It's a common misconception. It's just these larger caps have more of a range for you to trade within. It's just people think that you still need to buy 1,000, 2,000 shares like you do with small caps, but you don't really need to buy that many. Let's see here. So that was my first and actual only trade on Amazon for the day. First one I missed, unfortunately. Now, as the market started to give up on the highs, I noticed that we were actually starting to trend lower on the SPY, and that automatically, and we had a gap to close on the downside. So that automatically told me to look at VXX. VXX is an ETF. Let's see here. VXX is an ETF that is the opposite volatility index. It's of the SPY. So if the SPY goes down, VXX goes up. So now it's also it moves twice as fast. So right here within this area, I noticed that VXX was stuck basically right here, right at 39.90, and it was telling me, so if it breaks over 39.90, the volatility starts coming up, sellers start freaking out on the SPY. I'll go ahead and get it long. So I got in long right at 39.91, and I got filled 1,000 shares. My stop was going to be 39.80 because this is the range that it was trading within with the volatility with the SPY. So I went ahead and got in, got filled immediately. Liquidity was absolutely no problem because this thing is so liquid. I'll show you guys real quick. VXX has a 1 cent spread. So there's really never an issue of you getting into the VXX. So even if it's flying, it's fine. You can get in and you'll be able to get filled, no problem. So I got filled at 39.91, and I saw the SPY basically just tanking. I'm like, yes, it's finally going my way. I went ahead and hit my 1-to-1. I sold half, sold 500 here at 40.03. And then right after that, it actually kept tanking. And I was going to try and hit down here at 26.64, but it tanked just a lot faster than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to maybe trend. And I knew that there was going to be some sort of pullback. So as it was tanking, I went ahead and took the other half. Remember, I was only risking $100. So I got 1.5 out of this. So 165 out of the VXX. So as it was coming down here, I went ahead and got rid of the other one, so at 40.12. So I ended up getting an extra 9 cents out of the VXX. But as you can see, it actually ended up turning around. So the SPY is actually turning around right now. Although it might keep trending lower, I'm not really sure what it's going to do. I don't think really anybody knows what it's going to do. But as of right now, it's technically still trending lower. So right here, that could be just a lower high. But if it does break over that, then you could end up heading back towards the top. But to me, it completely does not matter. I'm already out of VXX, and I took advantage of that. Got 1.5 out of that, and I believe I took one more trade on BABA. Now, today I feel like it was just not my day. Really, not my day. If you guys see this beautiful consolidation on BABA right under 194.50. The way that I was able to find this too, by the way, it was my top 20 scanner. So here with Colmex, it provides you with a top 20 scanner. It gives you the top traded stocks, things that are more active, what are the highest gainers, the biggest losers of the day, and same thing with the NASDAQ. So active stocks, let's see here. BABA is actually number 5. So I just kind of went down the list and see what was kind of setting up for either a good long or a good short, really depending on which way the market was going. So I started going through the active stocks first, and if you see right here, beautiful consolidation over 194.50. I was actually getting ready to risk 200 on this, and because my stop was going to be 194, and I was going to get in over 194.51, and so I was only risking 50 cents. You guys do the math; it's 400 shares. So right here, bam, right around here, next candle, boom, just took off. Unfortunately, I was not able to get into it because I was fumbling again with a limit order. So I was trying to get the limit order right, and I ended up setting it to something completely weird. I might have put the period in the wrong spot or something like that. I wanted to put 194.60, put 400 shares. Right as I was doing that, I believe it was between these two candles, it just took off. And I said, screw it, I'm getting in. I chased it a little bit, so as you guys can see, I got filled right here at 184.70. And my target was going to be 195. So right here at the 195 mark, it actually ended up getting stuck and just kind of going back and forth, building up a little strength. Yes, it is still trending up technically. It's still trending up technically. And but I went ahead and just got out. I knew that I had chased it. I already lost 20 cents on this, and I was okay taking, you know, the 30 cents out of it with 400 shares. Believe what did I get at? So let's see here. I got filled at that. Sold 200 shares, 194.74. Oh, that's what it was. I went ahead and took half my position off. That's what it was. So I went ahead and took half my position off. I didn't want to risk it, especially with chasing it. So I took half the position off at 74. Then I sold 100 at 93, and then the other 100 at 91, as it was just kind of teetering right below 195. So as you can see here, it's already above 195.50, but I'm already out of it. It's just not my day today. I missed Amazon. Oh man, actually, 3 really bad things. So I missed the initial move on Amazon. Then the pullback on Amazon was good. It's just the bid never really hit my my target, so I didn't push the sell button. And then I missed BABA. So that's just 3 things right there. The only thing that really went my way today was the VXX, and you know, thank God for that. That saved my day. Because of CTSH, that just completely went the other way as it was trending up, basically. So, but yeah, that's it for the recap today. I'm up only like $65, but I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.